It's chapter 16, section 4, the illusion and the reality of love. In your text, if you want to open it up to page 339, paragraph number 10. Let me just read 10 real quick. It says, the bridge that leads to union in yourself must lead to knowledge, for it was built with God beside you. Now, here it's using this idea of a bridge that we seem to have to cross over to remember who and what we are. And isn't it interesting to me that the Holy Spirit is used as the terminology of the bridge, the one that helps us remember who and what we are. So it says the bridge that leads to unity in yourself must lead to knowledge. So the Holy Spirit leads to knowledge. Everything that leads to unity leads to knowledge. So anytime we use a relationship to separate ourselves out, even if it's a special love relationship, I need this person for my salvation, or a special hate relationship, we need to get rid of this person so there'll be more peace in the world, that leads away from unity and union. So it would never lead to knowledge. So it's always you can kind of do that as a litmus test for yourself in the relationships you have, or the way you look at things. So the bridge that leads to union in yourself must lead to knowledge, for it was built with God beside you and will lead you straight to him, where your completion rests wholly compatible with his. Every illusion you accept into your mind, by judging it to be attainable, removes your own sense of completion and thus denies the wholeness of your Father. Every fantasy, be it of love or hate, deprives you of knowledge, for fantasies are the veil behind which the truth is hidden. That's where we have investments in things in this world. Investments that I get this, investments that I make this much money, investments that I find my holy soulmate, investments that I get this job, investments that I get out of this job because it's making me miserable. All of these things become idols that lead us away from unity and from knowledge. Okay? Then it says, to lift the veil that these represent, to lift the veil that seems so dark and heavy, it is only needful, this is a great line, to value truth beyond all fantasy, and to be entirely unwilling to settle for illusions in place of truth. What does that say? Not trading one illusion for another, not trading one that's not as good for a better one, but affirming, I feel the love of God within me now. Knowing that God in his mercy wills that I know who I am, that I be saved from all the pain and suffering, because his will for me is only what he created me with. Okay, so that's kind of what this is saying. This is said over and over again. Here is yet but another place where you need to focus on the truth beyond all fantasy. The fantasies are the needs that we think we have in this world. I'm not saying that you don't need your car, or you don't need your house, or you don't need some money to pay for gas. We need all those things. It's wonderful that we have the police. It's great you had LoJack. You know, all of these things that we have. Isn't it wonderful? I don't have LoJack. It's great you have it. How wonderful. You know, I mean, we need all these things, but they are not your salvation. You know, and so what really is our salvation is always to know the truth of who we are. As this says, what is meaningful is to value the truth beyond all the fantasies. We may do the things of this world, but we hold on to the truth. That's why the Course even talks about magic. When it talks about our physical bodies, it says you may need to take a little magic, meaning if you got a headache, you might take an aspirin. You know, but remember, the healing really doesn't just come from the thing, the aspirin, but that can alleviate some of the pain. It can help us. Maybe we take medication for this or that. That's fine. But always remember what is deeper. The love of God within us now. Let me remember that, because it can help me move through all the things of this world and finally focus on what is my solution, what is the answer. The love of God within me now.